Now I know one thing that we did talk about before was PlayStation got hacked just a few years back,
It
and
did.
they've had several hacks. I'm looking at one article here where they were. It looks like they hacked they're actually PlayStation Twitter Brazil. It said PlayStation contact us. We got PlayStation Network database leaked. Let's make PlayStation leaks trending. Ourmine.org. This is how you can contact us. And it says, no, we aren't going to share it. We are a security group. If you work at PlayStation, then please go to our website, ourmind.org. Just like, wait a minute.
What
It's
is
almost like
this?
they're hijacking them. I've never heard of this company, Our Mind.
But that's pretty much what I was just saying. Somebody's talking on behalf. They're pretending to be somebody. You know what I mean?
Yep. And it says here, Our Mind claims to have breached Sony's company network too, stealing key customer data too. This is not the first time Sony has been hacked, nor that sensitive customer information has been stolen. And I know we had it. Was it a couple years ago? 2011.
11.
It was
Yeah.
what, 700,000 people.
Crazy amount. Imagine that 700,000 people in 2011 on a gaming platform. That's like the whole network. You know, maybe not, but you know what I mean. Like that's that's a lot of
Whole
people.
network in a city, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
It's.
wasn't it more than 700,000? Wasn't it million? 77 million?
I think it was like, yeah, 77 million sounds right.
77 million. So that's a lot of people on a gaming platform.
Mhm.
When multiplayer and the online features just came out like within the last few years from that, right?
Yeah. So it was pretty crazy just to think about that, like what people do. And I want to say, when we talked about this, it seemed like they were going to start charging for their PlayStation Network, or they just launched the charging,
Yeah.
because they weren't doing the charging before.
No, they
And then
weren't.
all of a sudden, boom, you got hacked.
Yeah.
It was almost instantaneous as soon as. And I could only imagine, if they got a lot of people signed up, they got a lot of people all in the system now, and then again, piss somebody off, and look what happens.
Mm-hmm.
uh, so it's kind of cool to see when something like this happens, what the companies do to help compensate, or to help up the security, or what it is that they do, because virtually, like pretty much anything can get hacked if you're really, really good. And I think I know we've seen like movies and stuff, and they say like, oh, they hacked into the White House, or they hacked into
Yeah.
Area 51, or
Whatever it is. Yeah.
whatever. They hack into all these different things, but in reality, it's because stuff like that has probably happened or is currently happening. They just keep things in, under hush hush.
Yeah.
So when you see stuff like this, to me it's always interesting. Like, okay, cool. What are they going to do next?
For sure. Because you know what? I look at a lot of this stuff in regards to security updates as a response. It's like people are always out there. They have something called uh, white hat hacking or ethical hacking, right? Where they'll teach people how to do these things. There's places that'll run courses, and then big companies will hire these hackers to come in and test the security of their network. So you have the people that get paid to do it professionally, and then you have the people that do it on the dark web, right?
Right. Now,
And
do
yeah,
you have, just real quick, sorry, I was just thinking about this. Do you have Target
no,
in
Target tried to come to Canada and they shut down. They couldn't handle it here.
Do you remember, I think it was back in 2012. Do you remember, again, I don't know if I know this happened to Target, and I think it happened to several stores, but I don't know if it happened up in Canada,
Mm.
where people were purchasing stuff for the holidays, and the actual reader, the debit card reader, was
Skimmed.
well, yeah, they were hacking the readers. And what people did was they put their debit card inside,
Yeah.
slide it out. As soon as that information went in, it went somewhere else.
Yeah, they were skimming it. That's called skimming. They usually put a different attachment onto the actual where you put your card in. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they do that a lot here with gas stations.
Ah, I remember here. Well, the one thing I noticed is all of a sudden there's chips. All of a sudden, a lot of our
Mhm.
debit cards have chips now because of that.
Mhm.
And I remember that like so much money just got stolen from so many people. Um,
But you see, that's a really good example as to if we didn't have people testing the security of these systems, we would be really vulnerable in this age of tech.
mhm,
Honestly, it would just take one really smart person to just go around and clean house. But it's good that the companies act really quickly. They fix the loopholes, the security issues, and there's a lot of insurances in place to kind of get us back to where we need to do. But like we always say, us as an end user, us as a person on the other side that's actually using all these services, and us that has an identity to protect, assets to protect, we have to do our own due diligence. We have to accept that this is going to happen, but we have to be prepared to work with the platforms and be smart while we do it, right? Like you were saying with PayPal, don't put all your banking information in one place. Making sure you have two-factor authentication. Keep an eye on those emails when they come through. All that kind of stuff. You want to change your passwords on a regular basis. Everything you can do, you should do. It's the onus is not always on whatever platform you're accessing. We have to take some of that responsibility ourselves.
mhm. Yeah, that's true. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, man, like like how much can I do before it's like, I don't know, where it becomes like too much, or it's I know there's things we recommend, like the VPNs, and
Mm-hmm.
make sure you have a complicated password or different types of payment portals. Do what that you're in control of on your end, and hopefully, it's what the most that you can do on your end can protect you to an extent. Because again, like you said, if it's somebody very, very smart that comes in and can clean house, they'll clean house if they have
Yeah.
to, if they want to.
For sure, for sure. Some of the things that I would probably suggest is that if you do choose to link a credit card to something, maybe see if the platform that you're linking the credit card to will accept like gift cards, gift credit cards. And you can set the limit of that card to whatever you purchase it at, like $100 or $200, something that's not going to make you default on a mortgage payment. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
But these are all things that you should think about when you're being smart online. These are all things you need to think about. Even using services like PayPal, what's their insurances like? Investigate these things. Understand what tools you have in your online security belt.